Hey guys, welcome back to Elevation Station. I'm your host Jwhite. This is episode 5, and I got my boy with me sitting in this time on episode 5, and we are ready to go, man. Go ahead and intro. Well, I'll introduce him actually. So this is my brother Terrence. Knew you since high school,
freshman year, bro.
Freshman year. So
yes, sir.
So we've been rocking with each other for a long time. A lot of things I probably still don't know about him, and we might find out today.
You will definitely learn some stuff about me today.
He
bro.
just told me before we recorded. He was like, "Yeah," because I let him know about some questions that I may or may not ask, and then so I wasn't really expecting to get nothing in return or nothing like that, but
you're definitely gonna get some things in return.
He was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna bounce these right back." I'm like, "Dang, I didn't even really think about these." But so whatever happens, happens, and let's get into it, man. So this week, I wanted to do a topic where, we could just be real. You know what I'm saying? Share our stories or whatever. But at the same time, it's something that, because we're Elevation Station, what I try to do or what I would like to do is say something that really registers with people and where they're at in life or where they have been. You know what I'm saying? Because we overcome different things every day. So, with this topic, I think with when I think about society nowadays, it's really something that people battle with. You see it with females, you see it with males.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's just especially you got social media, and it really takes a toll on our thoughts, how we feel about ourselves, things like that. So this week we're going to talk about insecurities. We're going to talk about comparison,
right?
And we're going to talk about a little bit about envy and jealousy. So when you think about those, what's your thoughts on insecurities and this generation?
Yeah, just like you said, everybody deals with it. I certainly have in my past. Definitely in high school, bro. I definitely dealt with it. You might have dealt with it. Some of our friends might have dealt with it, and we probably never knew. They probably, just like me, I kept it in. I just didn't express myself to you guys. I didn't feel like I could at the time, but today, now
open up.
I'm gonna tell y'all, a little bit
over the this past week. He told me a little bit. Every time he would try to start saying stuff, I'd be like, "Yo, just hold it for the podcast."
Yeah, he wanted something
hold raw. It for the podcast. So but I know you told me a little bit about one of your insecurities, so I'm just gonna open that back up since we're going straight in.
Definitely.
So when we talk about insecurities, like I said, it's male and female. Yes. It's a big problem, and I'll just ask you the first question, basically, what is something you're struggling with? What is one of your insecurities right now? Or what was one of your, biggest insecurities? You don't have to answer if you don't want. It's people that.
I don't have anything to hide, bro. You know this. You've seen my growth since high school. You know what I mean? I was totally different back then. I was more of a quiet dude at first because, basically I was skinny. I still am skinny, but you know what I mean? I'm a skinny and short dude. And people tend to make jokes and stuff about that. Short and skinny people seem more vulnerable, bro. You know what I'm saying? To people,
they look weak.
They look weaker, right? You know what I mean? But really, we're probably the strongest because we got to deal with more stuff. Hence, the jokes, the people making fun of you. Certain things like female wise, I wasn't as confident I was back then.
Because you were skinny?
Yeah, because I seen them brolic dudes, and the dudes on the football team, dude on the basketball team, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And they're pulling girls and talking to girls all confident and stuff, and I'm sitting over there and I'm just like, I don't see a skinny dude, with a baddie, bro, you know what I mean? So that kind of lowered my self-esteem. I had to deal with that.
Tell me about the incident. Wait, this is a funny story, bro. You gotta share this because this one that I knew. What happened with you and what happened with you and Rio?
Me and
Yeah,
Rio.
you said something happened. You know, y'all was doing the whole thing, and then your mom was like, you know what I mean, and that kind of made you want to start doing. You know what I'm talking about, bro?
When he knocked me out, bro. Yeah, bro.
Talk about that
So okay,
if you want to.
we put the gloves on in my backyard. Okay, this is probably what, like sophomore year, man. So
I think it was junior year.
junior,
I don't know.
it was one of those middle years in high school during during the summer. We were in our backyard. My backyard was kind of big back then, so we went backyard. We put the gloves on. Everybody was in the back hanging out. Um, and I like to like throw jabs at these guys, messing around. So I put the gloves on with Mario, and he's a
A little bigger dude.
little bigger than me. You know what I mean?
Much bigger.
Significantly bigger. So put the gloves on. We start, he let me like throw a little couple, and then so I start running from him, which is never a good idea, right? In boxing or whatever. And he just turns around and no, he was running from me.
Oh, he was running from you?
Yeah. Well,
Mario, he was running from you?
he was playing around, running like oh, I'm running. Da, da, da. So I'm dumb. I chased him. He turned around and caught me with an uppercut, bro.
And
And
went flying.
I went flying, and I kind of hit the ground kind of hard. I was like, all like dazed and confused and stuff. And my mom was looking out the window, and she was like, "Yo, get him up." Get him some milk. He was like, get him some milk. So I was like, Ma, why you gotta say that stuff, man? Like, but shout out to my mom. She looked out. She did get me some milk.
But I asked you to say that because I felt like you told me, and I could be wrong, but you told me after that, like you started wanting to get that was like a spark where it was like you started wanting to get bigger
Definitely.
because you didn't want that to happen again.
No, especially when your mom says something, you know what I mean? That kind of hits home, you know what I mean? So it's like, your mom telling you get some milk, bro. Like, come on. Like,
that's a little funny.
So definitely I wanted to get bigger, bro. Like I started like looking up stuff and like,
Did these insecurities start in middle school or was it like high school?
Definitely. So when I moved down here to school in Zephyr Hills for a little bit, I kind of got bullied back then. You know what I mean? I try to be strong headed. Definitely, because I wasn't trying to let that stuff happen all the time. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I was always trying to figure out something to do to stop. So like at points I started, I tried to like try to fight back, right? Mm-hmm. So that's what I tried to do, and they probably came a little harder. So I ended up moving over here, and that's when I met y'all, and bullying never happened that again. You know what I mean? Because you guys accepted me in the group, and I kind of felt, a little family vibe out of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which was new for me. It was new.
That's what's up. But man, so I guess what we're getting at is we all have these insecurities that kind of beat us up inside, weigh us down, and so on and so forth. But the main thing is we have these insecurities because we have this lack of confidence. We feel like
Correct.
We're not enough. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And what I have to say to that is, I have my own insecurities. But yeah.
What was yours or is yours right now?
See, that's one of the things he's gonna switch.
I would definitely want to find out this stuff, man.
So like, that's a good question. Honestly, bro, obviously I'm short, right? So obviously I had a problem with my height. I didn't want to be this short. I used to go home and measure myself like everything. And then after a while I realized it's just gonna be this way, so it is what it is. My parents would probably try to tell me, oh, you're gonna grow, and then like family friends tell me stories about how their son didn't grow until a certain age. But I realized that wasn't going to be the case. So I just lived in my truth of the fact that I'm only going to be this height, and that's okay. But the thing is, that didn't bother me too much. Like, of course, people would make jokes, but I was the kind of guy like clown you right back.
Definitely, yeah.
So it didn't faze me. And It didn't faze me. I'll laugh at it. Like if somebody laughs at me, I'll laugh with them, and then I hit you back.
Right, right.
You know, just a little small
Yeah.
jab, let you know, hey, you
I'm
know,
here.
right? I got more jokes than you, so. But I know that there's people out there that have a lot of insecurities
Yeah.
about how they look.
Hmm.
You know,
Their weight.
yeah, but there's many insecurities out there, and people that feel insecure because of lack of confidence or something that was told to them, or something that they see,
Yes.
that they don't,
Yes.
they feel as though they don't measure up to.
I think that's a big one too.
Yeah.
That seeing other things will affect how you think and live. You know, how you perceive yourself
Mm-hmm.
based on what you see other people and you know, what you see everywhere.
Exactly.
Everything around you will affect you.
And that kind of goes into comparison, right? Because like we are so quick to compare what we see others do. We're so quick to compare, especially on social media. These people are only showing you like you're only getting the right angle, the right picture of what's going on, and only a second of their happiness. And they could be happy all the time. It doesn't matter. But the fact of the matter is, you're only seeing a picture, a highlight of their happiness.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And you're comparing that to your current situation. You're not comparing it to the highlights of your life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Or you might be. It doesn't matter. But for the most part, you're just looking at where you are right now or like what you're doing right now. For example, this is a perfect example. A lot of people look at the shade room, and this is, I don't like to gossip, but this is something that really happened. So it's like Black China. You know Black China, right?
Yes, yes.
So she was on a vacation with some dude, you know what I mean? I think they were dating. And so they had she took a picture of a nice setup. It was at this resort or wherever they was. It was a nice view to the beach and all this kind of stuff, right?
Right.
They had breakfast out on the patio.
Everything
I
was set
remember the
up.
orange juice. Yeah, set up. She had a picture with her robe and he had his robe or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then like literally same day, like same scene. That was the picture. And then like probably like an hour later, I check on the gram. They got into this big incident. You know what I mean? Where they had to break up, and it was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're both making like these depressed posts. Not that I only see Black China stuff.
Right.
So,
right.
but she's making posts about this dude that she was just on vacation with, and was just showing how
stuff, right?
everything was great, and people could have been like, "Man, I wish you know what I mean? I wish
Mm-hmm.
me and mine could go out and see this and that," which is fine, but at the same time, don't start looking at that where to the point where you feel like
you're not doing
enough, or you're not doing nothing,
mm-hmm.
or you wish you were them.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Or they have it better than you, because.
Right.
It looked like that for a moment for that picture, and then right after that, tables turned. You know what I'm saying? Now your situation might be a little better than what they're going through. You feel what I'm saying? Right. So I say all that just to say, you can't go by what you see on social media.
Definitely not.
You know what I mean?
Definitely not.
Social media is good and it's bad. It's got its positives, it's got its negatives. But what we can't do is compare what we see others doing or others' accomplishments.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? To our now. Like
right.
This Pastor Stephen Furtick, and I put a post earlier this week about it. He was saying this is, I paraphrase his quote, but he was saying we compare people's highlights to our behind the scenes.
I like that.
So it's like wherever, this person's on vacation or whatever they're posting a picture about.
Right.
But I'm right now, my behind the scenes is I'm just sitting on the couch,
watching TV,
watching TV,
right?
or your spouse, your spouse is just playing video games and you're just sitting on your phone and you scroll and you see, oh, this couple's doing this, But you can't live life comparing what other people are doing to what you're doing. It's just not, because that can lead to also jealousy or envy. You know what I mean? That can lead to you feeling sad or not enough or insecure. It don't have to be just based on vacation or what they're doing. It could be based on how they look. It's one picture. All they have to do is get right for one picture.
Yeah.
It's just like modeling. There's models out there, and models are great. I'm not talking down on models. That's a career and occupation that they do. You know what I'm saying? That they work hard for, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But it's models out there that the same day they can look, just whatever.
Right.
And then in 30 minutes with that professionalism and the people working on them have them look completely different than how they actually look. And all we see is that last picture is like, man, this girl's really beautiful. But these people can do the same for you.
Right.
If you were, you know what I mean?
If you were that,
and they Photoshop and they make you a little skinnier than what. So it's like you can't compare. You cannot compare other people's situations or appearance or accomplishments to what you have going on in your own life, because we all are called to do different things. We all have different skills. We all have,
different strengths, man.
Different strengths.
Strengths and weaknesses are different. But back on the girls who take pictures or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Even normal girls, or like that we see at the supermarket or something, they'll get all dressed up. They'll put makeup on just to take one picture in the mirror, and then not go nowhere, just to give social media the perception that they're doing something tonight. And really, they're putting on their pajamas right after they take that picture and watching Netflix.
Right, we don't know.
We don't know what they're doing. We just know that picture, and we're over here getting jealous when we're doing the same exact thing. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But the strengths and weaknesses, yeah, man. I just did an assessment on, find out my strengths. I found stuff out that I didn't even know about myself. There, you know what I mean? But I read in this book that we focus more on our weaknesses, on fixing our weaknesses, rather than capitalizing on our strengths. You know what I mean? Like, we're not focused on how we can make our strengths better so we can do like an amazing job of what we do. But we focus on what we lack in to, I guess, balance it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I don't get, because I like I like what I read in that book, because it actually taught me how to.
What book was that?
It's called Strength Finders. You can take the assessment. It's on their website and stuff like that. I had to do it for school, so that's the reason why I had to read that. But it was cool finding out information. Definitely.
So strengths and weaknesses, and actually next week I'm actually going to talk a little bit more about that kind of stuff too. But I want to take a quick break. Right.
Okay.
I'm gonna go into this other segment because I think we're after 15 minutes now. But wanted to kind of steer off of that really quick, and we'll jump right back into it. I want to ask you. This is our random question segment. I want to ask you, getting into music, because I know you like to talk about music.
Okay.
So this is just for you. So just what's your top 5? Because I've been listening to a couple of. I don't listen to much music like I used to.
Okay.
But I've been checking out a couple of different people. Who's your top 5 artists right now?
In every genre?
Nah, just hip hop, rap.
Hip hop,
rap and hip hop.
Okay.
Or your top. It don't have to be like at the moment. Just your top 5 in general.
In general, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a really long list, bro. Definitely
it's 5 people, bro.
5, yeah, but I
I feel what you're saying.
I have a lot.
Or top 3, whichever one.
No, definitely Nas, number 1.
Okay.
Nas is my dog. I know all his songs. I know everything. A Boogie right now. A Boogie. There's not a track that he doesn't come out with is a banger, bro. I like Montana 300.
Okay. That's Malik's dude.
Yeah. Malik actually put me on.
Yeah, I know he'd be supporting him heavy.
Yeah, Montana's cool, man. He got some bars. But this new guy, J.I. the artist, J.I. the Prince of New York. Okay. He's a kid from New York, obviously. But he's nice, man. He's nice.
Who else?
Me?
That's it? That was 4.
Rakim.
Okay.
Definitely Rakim, man. Old school.
What you know about Rakim?
Hey, man, a little before my time, but I'm
came out what? 90s?
Yeah, 90s, 80s. He came out with bangers, bro.
For sure.
Classics. can play that right now and people would bob their head, bro.
I would say he's one of the GOATs.
Definitely.
So, but speaking of music, do you think music plays a part in comparison?
Yes.
Like, or insecurity, or like,
definitely. Music videos for sure, because like, what rappers are talking about, what artists are talking about in their songs, you're listening to it, so you're perceiving that, you're interpreting it the way you want to interpret, and that can either make you a certain way, it'll make you feel a certain way. Music affects you strongly, no matter who you are. Music will definitely affect you. But seeing videos, and like, you'll see girls like showing their bodies off. You'll see dudes surrounded by cars, throwing cash, especially in hip hop videos. You'll see throwing cash, doing stuff like that, right? But say you're not one of those dudes that have like that kind of thing. You know what I mean? You're gonna be like, why can't I have that?
Or is this what I need to feel like to feel confident?
Correct. You know what I mean? Like, do I have to do all this stuff like they tell me to do? Definitely not. But people perceive that as in like, I do.
This is what I need to do.
Mm-hmm. I have a bunch of girls around me. I gotta have all this stuff. I gotta have a bunch of people around me. Like, people think that having a big circle is like that right thing to have.
That's what gives you like status.
Right. But I feel like if you have that close circle, you're actually worth more than having the people that.
Let me ask you this: Have you ever compared yourself or been jealous of someone else, or someone else's situation, or something else you saw?
Definitely. Back to relationships, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, back then in high school, I wanted a girlfriend. But stuff didn't work out for me as good back then. But that's one part. I was looking at relationships and like, damn, like, I want that, you know what I mean? But life has its
what about now? What about where you at now?
Me?
Yeah.
What do I get jealous anymore, or
not well, yeah, or do you compare your current situation with anybody's?
No. Not as like I used to, because everyone has their own life to live. You know what I mean? So everyone is going at a different pace. So you might be ahead of me in certain things, but that's the pace you're going at. You know what I mean? Like, you're married, you have kids. You know what I'm saying? You're in a spot. I don't have kids. I'm not married. But what makes one or the other better? Nothing. You know what I mean? We're going at our own pace. Everyone has to live their life one day at a time, make their own choices.
Yeah, I that's one thing that I've struggled with a lot, comparison. But like you said, I remind myself of what I have, my own accomplishments.
Definitely.
And I remind myself that yes, they're succeeding in this area probably a lot faster than this is where I want to be, where they're at in life,
Right.
But it's just a reminder that we're all blessed. We all have our own accomplishments and achievements and blessings to be grateful for. Yes. You feel what I'm saying? Yes. So I look back at what I have, and I'm just thankful for it. I put on an attitude of humility and thankfulness, gratitude, right? Yes. For what I have, instead of looking at somebody else's or not celebrating what they're doing. When I get on Instagram and I see people doing what I wish I could do, or what I would like to be doing right now, you know what I'm saying? I used to, and sometimes this still comes in my mind, like, we're human. So I could start thinking like, dang, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I want to, dang, look at what they do. God's always blessing them. You feel what I'm saying? Right. Why they got so, and then immediately, not all the time immediately, but I'll just start thinking like, you know what? That's great for them.
Yes.
You feel what I'm saying? That's awesome that they're able to do that and just switch from sadness, you know what I mean, to celebration.
Yes.
Or being appreciative of what I have.
Right.
I start to celebrate people a lot more. Even if I don't want to hit the like button on somebody's post, I hit the like button. I might comment and say, big ups to you. Congratulations.
Definitely.
Because, and that goes back to this, doing the opposite of what you feel or think is what gets you over the hump. Like, for example, if I'm insecure about how I look, you don't like your nose, right?
Hey man, why you had to,
I'm just playing.
Okay,
hey, look,
I got a little bump in my nose,
it's
man.
all good. It's
Hey,
all good.
that's how.
It's all
Nothing
good,
happened. I never
bro.
broke it, man.
It's all good, bro.
Yeah, my nose is kind of big.
Man, look
but
what
you know
he
what
did.
I mean?
I
Look, you got me
look
all.
what I did. My bad, yo. My bad. Look,
Nah,
look.
definitely my nose.
But
is
hear
cool.
me though. Hear me though.
Okay.
Hear me though. Just something that you're insecure about. Every time you wake up, every time you see that, or you think negative about it,
It's gonna affect you.
It's gonna affect you, but it's important to do the opposite. What's the opposite? Speak positive. What you hear, what yourself hears you say, that's what you're gonna believe the most. You're gonna believe what's said to you, the most, right? Okay. So if I start to say, or females, if you think you don't look good or you don't like something, if you start saying, I am beautiful, I am strong, I am courageous, even though you might feel timid, even though you might, I don't like speaking in front of people. So before I start speaking in front of people, I tell myself, I can do this. When I feel anxious or I feel, nervous, I might have the jitters and all, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I tell myself, this is gonna be great.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm not scared of this. And I actually, when you don't have the strength to tell your own self that, I go into prayer because like God tells us that we're fearfully and wonderfully made. He tells us that He has plans for us, plans to prosper us, and not to harm us, but give us hope in the future. So that's all in Scripture. That's for me, in my belief. But at the end of the day, you have to speak life into yourself. Definitely. So it go and that's for insecurities, that's for anything, all aspects in life. You have to speak life over your situation. Yeah, it looks like it's not going well. Yes, it looks like you don't have this working for you. But if you start saying that you do, and if you start looking at the positive in your life, and you start looking at what could be, you know what I mean? If I don't like what I see on Instagram, it's a lot of young people, and salute to all of y'all who are doing what y'all supposed to do. It's a lot of young people that they have gotten homes. Y'all getting y'all homes early. Yeah. You know what I mean? You got y'all family, y'all got good jobs, y'all have finished school, y'all are succeeding, and that is awesome. And I would go down the list and shout out a whole bunch of people right now. But that's great. And when I used to see stuff like that, be like, man,
why they got that?
Not why, not why, because that's I'm not jealous of nobody. Well, it could be jealousy, but I'm not envious of anyone. And but when I saw that, I'd be like, dang, I wish I could have that. You know what I mean? Jealousy is just wanting what you feel is like what you feel belongs to you. You know what I mean? Right. It's not always. I think jealousy and envy is two different things. Jealousy is not always a bad thing. Jealousy is just I wish I could have that. Right. Or I wish that was for me.
I think different levels of jealousy is harmful to yourself. Yes.
Yes. The Bible talks about God is a jealous God. He's a jealous God because we belong to Him. Right. And I'm not trying to preach, but I'm just saying that's the outlook on, where that comes from. So if I like I said before, if you get a gold medal, you know what I mean? Like we're on the same team. Right. You get MVP, I get some other medal, whatever.
Participation.
But you're my man. It's like you my boy. You feel me? So like I'm gonna celebrate you, but I am jealous that you got MVP because I wanted MVP.
A little hater over there. No, basically, hating and jealousy are the same thing.
No, it's not, bro.
Yes, definitely. I think so.
if I'm jealous, just means I wish I had that. But it's one thing to hate. If I'm a hater, guess what? Well, haters they could be secretly hating too. But I mean, for me, because there's stuff that people have that I wish I had, but it doesn't phase. I'm not sad over it. So if you get a gold medal, you're my boy. You know what I mean? And you got MVP.
Yeah.
I think anybody would probably feel some way if they won an MVP.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think even the top athletes, if it's LeBron, if it's Michael Jordan, if it's Kobe, rest in peace to Kobe, if it's anybody, and someone else gets an accolade that they feel like they could have gotten, they might feel a little jealousy about, man, I wish, I feel like, not saying he doesn't deserve it, but I wish I had it. I wish I won it.
Yeah, you see that.
And they can be out to eat the same night and having a good time. So it's not necessarily that I'm hating on you. I'll still celebrate that with you, and I'm proud that you got it. But I do wish I received it.
Right. Okay.
So it's like.
So hating would be under envy?
Hating would be envy. I'm envious towards what you have. I don't like the fact that you got it. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Okay. I don't like the fact that you're being talked about and I'm not.
And you're not. When you help me win.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Or whatever. Like hating that, and that's what envy is. Envy is, I see something, and I can't support you, but I'm starting to hate the fact that, and it can start with sadness. That's why comparison is so important to not compare yourselves, because that can trigger jealousy and envy and all these things. You know what I mean? So it's important not to compare yourself because it starts with sadness and then it can trigger hate. And that's what envy is. I feel like envy is hate towards another person or thing because of what they, because it could be just because of who they are. It don't have to be nothing about what they have. It could just be who they are. Yeah.
Like you see somebody and you're just going to be envious of them because of how they look.
I guess it is at the end of the day, it might be what they have. But what I'm saying is, for example, I work at a job.
Right.
I don't know this person over here. Right? We're on the same level. Then he gets supervisor. Now all of a sudden, I don't like this person. I don't even know this person. But I don't like him at all. And now I'm just picking things of why I don't like him. But I'm envious the fact that he got this supervisor position.
Okay.
So anybody that brings his name up, I don't want to hear that. I hate the fact that y'all talking. I don't want to hear his name. You know what I mean? That's envy.
Okay.
You don't have no rightful reason to feel that way.
Right.
But you just hate. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So
yeah.
But what I'm getting at is we need to because we're human, so these thoughts are gonna happen. When this happens, we need to immediately check ourselves.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
I have to check myself when I see somebody that I feel that I feel like deserves what they have, but I wish I was there too. I have to check myself and celebrate my own self.
Right.
Celebrate them too, but celebrate me for what I've done.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm saying, bro. Let's do this. All right, so this is the first time I'm doing this. It's another segment.
You probably another question on me, man?
No, not another question. So, but this I want you to do with me because we grew up together. So this is something that we could do together.
Okay.
Give me that hat right here, boy.
Nice. You got a hat now. Okay.
Kind acts in a hat. That's what this is called. Kind acts in a hat. So basically, and it'll pop out at any time. Basically, we put a whole bunch of kind acts in one hat, like acts of service, and you can go back to episode 1. We talk about acts of service and love language. That was tended to marriage, but this can be done for anything, right? So acts of service, and we put some kind acts in a hat that we can do to, for me, is to just show, just to build up the community, show that it's good people out here with good intentions, show that there's people out here that's compassionate and we share love with other people. That's all it is, really. And I
like that.
Yeah, you don't have to have the platform to do it. You don't have to have this to do it. You can do it just out of the love in your heart.
Passion, yeah.
You know what I mean? So
others, yeah.
This is why I brought it into this to this podcast, because it's a great way not to show that, oh, watch me do this. You know what I mean? Because some people don't like to see people record and do kind of stuff
people
like that.
People would probably think like it's just a publicity stunt.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
And I understand that because there's certain ways to give. You know what I mean?
Right.
Not everything has to be seen. Not everything has to be done under the spotlight.
Right.
You know what I mean? But that's a whole different subject. Kind of axe in a hat. Let's get into it. So just pick me one. It's
I gotta look in there or
no, just pick one. It don't really matter.
It don't matter. I'm not gonna look, man.
It don't matter because I got them folded, so you can't really see.
All right.
He like
yeah. All right, we're gonna go with this one.
Yeah, you can read it.
Oh,
what I'm doing.
Let's see.
But what we gonna do this together, right?
We're gonna do this together. All right.
We're gonna do this together.
You're not gonna have me out there by myself, man.
No.
Passing out water. Passing out water, bro.
They like, yo, come on, son. No, but look, this is what we're gonna do. All right. So passing out water. So me and Terrence and y'all can hold us accountable if you want to, but we're gonna hold each other accountable, right?
I will definitely hold you accountable because you made me draw that out the hat, man. So
hey, check that. Oh, let me dump these out. Check the hat.
Y'all Ravens on there, man. I'm not a Baltimore fan. I'm not a Baltimore fan.
Y'all know we're supposed to go to the Super Bowl, but it's okay. We live in Tampa, y'all. So Super Bowl is in Tampa next year. So you already know. We already know who's gonna be there. Shout out to Ravens Nation. All right, so passing out water. What we're gonna do is gonna get some cases of water. We're gonna buy them. This is free water. It's not $1. It's not nothing. So I think later on this week it might be a little warm. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go on a busy intersection, and we're just gonna pass out water to people, man. That's it.
That's cool.
Yeah. I told some people that, and they told me it's lame.
Why? I don't know.
It might be cool, lame, man. But I think it's just one way to show a smiling face and show that, hey, there's a lot of things going on in our community, in our world, in our nation. You know what I mean? A lot of hatred, a lot of comparison, a lot of jealousy, a lot of insecurities.
Yes.
All this stuff's going on. So what we're going to do is represent elevation and elevate and rise above all of this stuff and hand out water to all of our our loved ones and people in the community, our neighbors. We're all neighbors.
We're all neighbors.
Yeah. So that's what we're gonna do.
Especially in Florida, man. It's hot.
It's hot down here. So, we've been having some nice weather though.
Definitely. Yeah, 60 degrees, man.
So we're gonna wrap this up. I appreciate y'all listening. I got one question for you, man.
What's up?
My final question. I'm trying to think with you personally. Let's go back to you. And we're not picking on you no more. And bro, I appreciate you coming on.
No problem, bro.
Because
it's a pleasure.
We just shared some stuff about, you really shared about your insecurities and your battles in life. And I want to know right now, how do you remind yourself that you're enough?
I don't compare myself to nobody no more, man. You know what I mean? I just, I am what I am. I accepted who I am. I love myself. Self-love is a big thing, bro. Because if you don't love yourself, you're not going to expect anybody else to like you, appreciate what or who you are if you don't appreciate who you are yourself.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's basically...
That's the way that you show other people how to love you.
Right.
If you don't love yourself, like you just said, nobody else can love you. Because people can see the first thing people are going to see is how you treat yourself.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? We watch to see how you treat other people, but we're going to see how you treat yourself first. And how you treat yourself is actually going to spill over into how you treat other people.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. So
self-love. Self-love, man. Self-love.
Self-love.
As soon as you love yourself, bro, your confidence will go up. Yeah, definitely. So next levels, dog. It's about elevating, man.
Come on. I was ready for him to say the word. Let's go,
it's
man.
It's about elevating over here.
Elevating.
You know what I mean? Elevate your confidence, man. Yeah. elevate your confidence, bro. Love yourself. You know, appreciate the things you have in life because, you know,
There's
God
always
forbid,
somebody that got it worse.
yeah, God forbid it can go away, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, something can happen. People might have more than you. People might have less than you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Appreciate where you're at in life and where you're gonna go. You know, and where you have been because that where you've been
preaching.
Will definitely
He's preaching.
it makes you who you are, man.
That's true.
You know, definitely, bro. Confidence is key, dog.
Can y'all see the self-love?
Definitely. Yeah, bro. Smiling, you know what I'm saying?
Can we? Yeah, I'm acting a fool now.
Oh,
y'all
man.
getting to know too much. No, but yeah, self-love, man, that's great. And like you said, that's how we're gonna be able to show people, hey, I love myself. This is the standard that I have for me.
Right.
If you can't meet that standard,
don't come here.
Don't come around.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And even with that, even the people that don't meet that standard that come around and might give you, you know, try to bring in negativity because you know your worth, because you know how much value you mean to yourself and you mean to God, because you know that and you realize that it's all that negativity is just gonna bounce off.
Definitely. Surround yourself with people that are really close to you and that you have love for, because once you show them that you know you have that love for them and you receive that back, you have that small circle that you know you have, and you have that little family, friends, your intermediate family, all that's your family. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So once you have that, you'll feel good, man. You know, once you're receiving that love back, you know, and I appreciate you, bro. You know what I mean? People don't hear that a lot, but I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate everybody in my circle.
You're giving me my flowers, bro.
You know what I mean? I don't got it on me, but yeah, definitely.
Giving me my flowers while I'm here. I appreciate that. I appreciate you, man. So we're gonna wrap it up. This was episode 5. I hope y'all got something out of it. That's all we want to do. We just want to give words of encouragement, words of elevation. That's all it's about. So appreciate y'all watching every week. This was episode 5. Stay tuned for episode 6 and so on. All right. Salvation Station, we signing out. Y'all be good.